I'm Amy Zalman, and I am sitting here with Swathi Young, the Chief Strategist at Tech-Notch Solutions, and we are both really excited today to be sharing information about the upcoming pilot course for professionals who are interested in planning better for complex futures, the Foresight Sandbox. The Foresight Sandbox is a partnership between my firm, Prescient, a strategic foresight consultancy, and Arizona State University in Washington, D.C. It will be held in June, from June 17th to 19th, 2019, in the D.C. area. And it's for mid and senior level professionals who are interested in getting a hands-on experience in how to use the tools of foresight, which we'll talk about a little bit later, in order to make decisions to understand the future better, what is happening, and make decisions about how to approach it in a time of great uncertainty. The pilot part, the really innovative part of this program, is that we are incorporating some literacy and some hands-on work also in an emerging technology, and that is a really new way to approach strategic foresight and planning. And it's also Swathi Young's area of expertise. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your part in the course and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you, Amy, for two things. One, for inviting me to be a faculty for the program. But I wanted to talk a little bit about why AI is an integral part when you're planning for your future. Because too often organizations are either intimidated by new technologies like artificial intelligence, or they are so much heads down into implementing technology that they're not thinking far ahead about the impact on their employees, impact on their products, and impact on their customers, which is very important. And I think that's where thinking about the foresight, integrating it with technology like artificial intelligence, is very crucial and imperative to have these conversations.
One of the things that I have appreciated about your approach when you've told me about it is that it is very holistic, and that's part of this course as well. We are going to talk not only about implementation, but also about the ethical arenas that are arising that businesses and organizations really need to be aware of, some of the security implications, and integrate those into the other considerations that firms also have, because it's not all technology. We want to normalize this big, exciting, scary thing called artificial intelligence into thinking about the workforce and the workplace, changing demographics, the potential impacts in 10 or 15 years of climate change and weather effects on the way that businesses operate, changes in the business environment, and in competitiveness, which is another area where artificial intelligence plays, because it changes the competitive environment too, doesn't it? It's not just what you're doing.
It's all about the marketplace, right? And just to add to whatever you're mentioning, Amy, I think too often enterprises are like heads down and they think artificial intelligence is very similar to software. But I usually urge them to stop, pause, think more. It's not similar at all, in the sense it has a lot of impact. So it not only employs math, engineering, science, but it also employs neuroscience, psychology, philosophy, because at the core of artificial intelligence, there is intelligence, right? And that's a philosophical question as well, as we talk about things like superintelligence in the future. But you are very right in mentioning that organizations want to implement it very quickly to be competitive in the marketplace. But our goal is to make them pause and think through this program like the Sandbox, and give them tools so that they can appreciate why it is important to pause and think, and why you need to put more thinking into the design and the ethical implications of AI applications.
We want to talk for just a few minutes about what takeaways will be available for people. Why should you come to this course? What are the benefits? The first, the most powerful one, is really that it will empower you or your colleagues, if you send them, to understand that you have the ability to shape the future. We think so often, and it's in our news, isn't it, that the future's coming at us, that change is happening to us. But the fact is that when you learn how to think like a futurist, and you think systematically about how change happens, how systems of change occur and where it is possible to intervene in that system and to either take advantage of an opportunity or to ward off something that has been identified newly as a risk, you see that you have the potential to step into the future and to shape it yourself. That is the most powerful, hands down thing that Foresight does for people, and I've seen it. It's a very empowering way to think.
Yeah, and I would like to add number 2 is that you will get tried and tested AI strategies and tools that other organizations have implemented, so that you can think about what does it mean to implement an intelligent chatbot for your customer service. Maybe you're thinking of operational efficiencies using artificial intelligence, and most often organizations are using AI in fraud detection. So there are these scenarios you can think about that are applicable to your organization, as well as use the tools we provide so that you can actually go away and think about implementing them.
Those are great points, Swathi. So this is going to be a practical course. I mean, above all, what we want you to go back to your organization with is the sketch of a way that you would like to approach emerging technology and planning for the future. More broadly, how are you going to integrate that into more complex, more integrated environment? And the second are with tools, with things that you can do, ways to think, frameworks that you can build, alternative future scenarios that you can develop in your own organization so that you can continue to become a foresightful place and one that ultimately has a greater chance of success in a very competitive world.